Good morning, everyone. Jump scare. I woke up not that long ago, so I'm not looking the freshest, but this is important, so I wanted to share it with you. A question that I've gotten a few times, whether on Instagram or on YouTube, has been about, or TikTok also, has been more about my spirituality practice. I don't want to get into the nuances of, like what I consider spirituality. Everybody has their own definition. I will say that I am a deeply spiritual person. I definitely believe that there are forces bigger than us that we sort of commune and co-create with. Whether you want to define that and use the lexicon of God or the universe or psychology is really your prerogative. I'm not here to prescribe any sort of belief system or dogma or doctrine. I simply just navigate my life with this broader understanding, and I feel very attuned to the many different ways that we can tap into that energy. And I really think that that energy can be accessed through whatever feels most resonant for you. For me, I really love writing and journaling. It's something that I do nearly every single morning without fail for at least a couple of hours. But it could be prayer for you. It could be something as simple as cooking or dancing or singing or meditating, just something to kind of center yourself, set aside the noise and the chatter of the outside world to listen to a quieter, more compassionate, more generous sense of direction. More intuitive, maybe, is another way to put it. And so a lot of people have asked me in the past about my journaling practice, so I wanted to share a little bit with you because it's changed quite a bit over the past few years. I've talked about this in previous videos that I will link, just my journey the last 5 years. I definitely feel has been very transformative. I really think I woke up to a lot of the maladaptive tendencies that I had from childhood that were performative, that were people-pleasing, that weren't really honoring who I was at my core authentically. Like I said, over the past 5 or 6 years, it has taken many different iterations and forms. I feel like every single day I wake up and I discover something new about myself, about the world, about what I believe, which is probably part of the reason why I love journaling so much. I've taken lots of different methods from lots of different books and theories. A big part of my journaling practice is rooted in the artist's way and Julia Cameron's sort of push for morning pages, which is just in the morning, write 3 pages. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't have to be polished. It doesn't have to be profound. Just let all of the mental noise and chatter sort of exit your body so that you can get in touch with that more intuitive, more benevolent sense of direction. Every morning I wake up and I start with that. It's not always 3 pages. Actually, lately it's been 2 pages. Something that has changed for me a lot is that I do everything in my iPad now. I have created a self-reflection journal that, if you like pen to paper, I think is a great place to start. It has over like 100 prompts in the front with different categories, from money to creativity and confidence to relationships to career, that you can sort of ask yourself as like thought starters if you can't really think of anything to journal about or to start with your morning pages. I would go through a journal like a month, and so I was just amassing all of these used journals, and I think that information is important. I don't always go back and read it like in the moment, but I'm really big on sort of seeing patterns and really kind of laying out where I was at different stages of my life and referring back to them. My iPad has been such a saving grace. I was telling Sam last night, I've already filled like 500 pages in my iPad just this year alone. I use the app GoodNotes. I actually have the astrology planner from Chani. I love astrology. I think it's super interesting. I love a lot of different modalities, whether that's Enneagram, human design. I'm super into Gene Keys, and I can talk a little bit more about that. But basically any like sort of modality where I can get to know myself or others more, in a personalized way I'm super into. But I just downloaded Channy's astrology planner. She has like the key astrological dates in there. And if you don't already have the Channy app and you're into astrology, it's really, really good. She does like weekly forecasts. She does quarterly forecasts just to kind of give you a sense of like what's happening in the cosmos. But then I will add pages to her outline so that everything can be in one place. It also has like a planner in it as well. So I like write my to-dos in here. So everything is housed in my iPad. I will typically listen to Channy's quarterly forecast. I'll listen to her weekly forecast, which comes out on on Sundays, excuse me. And then I will come to my journal and I'll write my 2 pages of stream of consciousness writing, just working through if I have any issues that I want to bring up, I bring them up to the paper. For example, Sam and I had an argument on Sunday. And so the Monday after, a lot of my morning pages were reserved for processing through my POV, you know, things that triggered me, wounds, all of that. And then what I'll do is I'll typically pull cards. I love cards as another sense of self-reflective tool. I really believe that when you can have access to your internal world on the outside, whether that's through relationships, a tool like cards, writing, so for some people it's books like Bible verses and things like that, when you can see yourself and your internal world reflected back to you on an outside tool, I think it's much easier to comprehend and grasp, and I love cards for that reason. So I do have like a traditional tarot deck. A lot of people are afraid of tarot, but really it's just a deck of 70, I think it's 76 cards with archetypal themes on them. So you see like the Queen of Wands. Wands mean something, like typically they're symbolic of like fire, which is symbolic of passion, creativity, raw energy. And the Queen is, you know, usually the feminine form and exalted as well because she's a queen, right? So what does it mean to take an exalted feminine approach to your creativity? And then I love, love, love all of, what are these called? The Wild Unknowns by Kim Krans. She has an actual tarot deck, which I actually don't use as much. I like the traditional. These have been around since like the dawn of time, so I really love just looking at the old sort of imagery. She has this archetypes deck, which is, again, like I said, just different archetypes and symbols that you see throughout history. So like, for example, this is a self archetype and it's the judge. So, you know, how are you seeing things as black and white? There's that one. And then she also has the alchemy deck, which is all about alchemy. So like transforming one substance into another. I'll give you another example of that. For example, here's the Ouroboros, the great serpent. This is a symbol for like healing, the circuitous nature of healing, how healing is never a linear thing. It's always going in and peeling back a different layer. I know it may seem kind of scary, but if you just open your mind a little bit, it's really just symbolism that you can use to reflect. And then I also have the animal deck. So like, for example, turtle, like what are the properties of a turtle that you can see in your life? They carry stories and experiences under their hard shell. They're one with both the earth and the water. So they're grounded, but also in tune with like their emotions. So those are just a few examples of her decks. I highly recommend them. I think the art is beautiful, and I think her guidebook and explanations are beautiful. And if you want a really cool resource that isn't so woo-woo magical, which I love that stuff too, but sometimes I like, my brain is so always on. So one resource that I really love, especially if you're into psychology, is Tarot for Change. Jessica Dore, the author, is super into tarot, but more from like a psychological, sociological perspective. It's a really sort of practical look into tarot. And so whenever I need explanations, I've taken tarot courses, so I like pretty much know all of the decks, but whenever I need a description, I actually downloaded her audiobook and I'll listen to her descriptions, because sometimes they're a little bit more practical. They're about actual cognitive behavioral therapies. You know, they're rooted in her many years of social work and psychology, and so I think she has a great resource for that. I'll do my morning pages, and then what I'll do is I'll pull a daily spread to sort of look at and reflect on, come to a conclusion of my takeaway for the day, something I should reflect on or think about the rest of the day. And what I really like to do, and why I pull so many cards, I'll usually pull a spread of 5. is I like to see the themes between them, because a lot of times you'll see overlap and synchronicity, and just having more contextual elements, more symbols to look at and to contemplate, it gives you a clearer picture. So yeah, that's really my process. I have really been loving it. I'll do monthly overviews, I'll break them down into weekly, quarterly, and then I always do like yearly reflections to talk about like, you know, my goals and things like that. But I just think it's like a really nice tool to keep everything in one place. Sometimes I'll go into my phone and I'll look at pictures for that month as I'm doing reflections on, you know, what I journaled about that month before. It's just a really nice all-encompassing way to have it all in one place. So I just wanted to give you kind of a view into what that looked like for me, in case you wanted to pick and choose some things to, you know, incorporate into your practice. I am definitely sort of a nerd when it comes to any psychological tool that can help you better understand yourself. I live for that stuff. I love growth. I love evolution of the self. I love knowing myself more. I love learning. So I know this is a little extensive, especially when you think about a couple hours every morning to dedicate to this, but it is, yeah, it's like my crux, my epicenter, what keeps me anchored in myself. And when I don't have this practice, I definitely feel it. So hope that helps for any of you that are either going through a spiritual journey, trying to figure out what your routines and your daily journey looks like. It's really worked for me and I love it. There's very little I love more than a good eyebrow day. You know, sometimes the eyebrows are just eyebrowing a little extra hard than other days, and I just feel like today the eyebrows are eyebrowing. I'm headed right now to meet my friend and colleague, Haley. She's an incredible designer, creative director, creative all around. We work together on a client and we are talking about an upcoming collection. So I will take you along for that. It's at the same old barista parlor that you've seen 1,000 million times before. I actually should have probably walked there just to get some steps in today, but alas, we drive. That would be 2 to 3 different logo treatments that we'll repurpose. Okay. 2 trucker hats, 3 tees, and 1 2 hoodies. Yeah. As the collection. I think that feels really good.
Actually, I can tell you that was the color, but they're out of stock of that too.
I don't know if it's just one of those days where I'm bored. I was talking to a friend today, well, Haley actually, who you saw earlier, about how one of the feelings of discomfort that I've recognized I don't like to feel is boredom. So we're at the thrift store. I should be working, but I'm a little exhausted. Sam wants to go get a haircut, so I thought, what better time to come to the thrift? So I thought I'd bring you along with me, and at least then I'm working. I don't really feel like trying on today, so I'm gonna show you a quick view into what I got. Or like, I'm considering, even though it's not that good. I found this cute little PJ set made in the USA. Let's see if I can prop you up somewhere where you can actually see me. Apparently I'm a sucker for vintage sleepwear. Pretty, but not a need. This like old school Hollister skirt, the way I wanted one of these so bad when I was in middle school. I also found this red Express Tricot sweater, and whenever I see Express Tricot, I can't really resist it. It's just such a good era of Express, so I might try that one too. In the same vein, there's this like red knit. It's giving me kind of like Miami, Berlin vibes. It has shoulder pads, which isn't ideal. I'm gonna pass on that one. I also found this helmet laying like vest top, but it's I think an XL, so it's not my size. I'm always finding little cute shoes. These cute little blue Ann Taylors. These white Stuart Weitzman, which I'm like, I probably wouldn't wear anywhere, but they're cute. And then these are weird, they're niche, but I found these candles. They have 2 of these like, you probably can't tell on camera, but they're silver candles, which I thought were cool. And they have this one leaf, which I thought was interesting. I don't know if I'll get it. The shoes are low-key kind of cute. I'm honestly a sucker for anything super strappy. I also found these purses. The green one. I really liked this white one. It wasn't a need. The white Stuart Weitzmans are really cute, but I think I might be in denial about my shoe size. These are 7.5, and I think I need an 8.5. No wonder our moms wouldn't let us have these. Look how short this is. Honestly, it's not cute. We are getting ready to go to, actually, I feel like it's a weekend full of art shows. I'm guessing that's strategic in the art community. I'm just not a part of that community heavily. Tonight we're going to our friend's show. It's not his show, it's the Harding Art Show, I should say. And he is showing some of his art. I don't know if I've showed his art on a vlog before. I know we've definitely showed you his piece in our house when we've done an art tour, but I don't know that we've ever actually showed you one of his shows. He's a very talented man. He previously made music and left that, you know, a couple of years ago, and is pursuing his art now, which is really cool. The couple, it's our friends Jen and Les, they're just super creative by nature. I love just seeing what they're up to, and so we're headed to go support them there. Apparently the Harding Art Show is a very sort of prestigious honor to be asked to be a part of. It's pretty hard to be included in the show, so we're really proud of him and really excited to support him. And then tomorrow we have our friend, well, my friend, she was in a group with me, a dream circle named Lindsay Rome, and she's showing her art and she's doing like a reception. And then my friend Chelsea, who you've seen in a vlog before, she loves this artist named Emily Leonard, who I am less familiar with, but she has a show after Lindsay's show tomorrow. So like I said, a weekend full of art shows. We are headed there. It's feeling like summer in Nashville. It's literally almost 90 degrees, hence the tank top. I'll, if I can, show you my full look because I got this really cute skirt from an estate sale and I want to show you guys. So as always, we'll of course take you along for as much of it as we can. I don't know what the rules and legalities are for recording in the galleries, but hopefully we can give you a little sneak peek. We are on the move again. I am headed out to a brunch with Lulu's at Cafe Rose. If you haven't been to Nashville, definitely add Cafe Rose to your list. So cute, so delicious, so good. They also have another location in West Nashville called Rose Pony that's equally as delicious. I wanted to show you my outfit too, since I didn't get to show you last night, because I'm wearing pretty much the same thing, just with a different top and different shoes. So my skirt is from an estate sale that I went to. I don't think I recorded it, but I love the texture. It just feels very summery. And I'm wearing a white Chalusha top, thrifted cowgirl boots. They're a little wet from the rain. My earrings are from TJ Maxx. My sunglasses are from Amazon. My ring is one of my favorites. It's from a brand called Lamonso. And my clips are from Amazon. Thank you for this artistic expression.
Have you ever watched the sunrise from your doorstep? Have you ever heard tomorrow call your name? On a Monday in the summer, I am wondering again, will I make it through the busy week? I just wanna drift back to sleep. I'm living it up in the early morning. I'm taking my time while my worries breathe. The neighbor's alarm is
Chelsea and I just finished what we didn't know was an art crawl when we went into it, but it makes sense. We had 2 gallery showings tonight, and I guess on the first Saturday of every month in Nashville, there's an art crawl.
Art everywhere tonight.
Art everywhere. The second studio that we went to, there was a studio right next door showing actually some people that I knew.
And across the street.
And across the streets, art. So it was just a really fun night. Chelsea and I were saying that we have to get out more and do things like this.
Definitely.
The city of Nashville is so vibrant with so many things to do, and I think it's easy to kind of get into your routine.
It was so much fun.
It was so much fun. We had the best time. So whatever footage I got, which was probably meager, but I will showcase. And if you're in Nashville on the first Saturday of any month, you should definitely go to the art crawls. They're free usually, and there's some really talented artists in the city. So.
And go to Emily Leonard's show
Yes.
at David Lusk
It's
if you're
so
here
gorgeous.
within the next few weeks.
So beautiful, so beautiful. So, okay, bye.
As the sun begins to creep above the trees, it's a cold one, but I know I cannot linger.